to Chalk Talk. This is Mike Simpson, Superintendent of Guthrie Public Schools. We're in episode 8, which will be the last episode of season 3. So we've had a good year with all this, Mr. T.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to have you joining us today, along with 2 outstanding seniors that we have from Guthrie High School, class of 2024, Kyndal Carey and Braydon Morgan. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
And we early in the year, we have people from the school district or somebody around the state, and then later on in the spring, we try to highlight some seniors that we feel like can tell their story a little bit about what their experience has been like in Guthrie Public Schools, Guthrie High School, all that good stuff. And we want to know what's going on in your lives in the future, what your plans are, what lies in front for you, and where you're headed. And so that's we're really happy to have you guys with us today. And so let's let you guys kind of introduce yourselves to the audience and kind of tell everybody who you are. Let's start with the ladies first. Kyndal.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kyndal Carey. I'm the student body president of Guthrie High School, and I'm involved in numerous activities. And then my plan for the future is I'm going to attend Oklahoma State and
Go Pokes.
and major in physiology on the pre-med track. And then I will also double major in nonprofit management and have a minor in Spanish.
Wow. Okay, that's you've laid out a pretty good plan there for you. That's ambitious too. Okay, Braydon, let's hear about you.
I'm Braydon Morgan. I'm in NHS Heritage Club, play basketball, and also in track. For my future, I want to play basketball. For college, I haven't decided yet where I want to go. And if that doesn't work, probably be an engineer, chemical engineer, what I would like to be. But that's really it.
Well, and there's something you left out that was a recent honor that you received. Do you want to tell everybody about that one?
Also, All-State. I made All-State this year. That's a big accomplishment.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk a little bit. You kind of touched on your plans after high school, but talk a little bit more in depth about what you want to do with that and where you want to go with that going forward. And talk about your end career goal, maybe if you have one, and also talk a little bit about the type of environment that you want to be in next year.
Okay. My end career goal is I want to be a surgeon. I'm not fully sure what type of surgery, what specialty. But I would love to eventually work with Doctors Without Borders and go help people in active war zones and things like that. I don't know. I'm open to anything for next year. I'm really excited to go to OSU in the fall, and yeah.
All right. And why OSU?
I've been a Cowboy since the day I was born. There was really no other place. I toured, that other university, and I wasn't a fan. OSU just felt like home.
Okay, great. Well, and the listeners, many of them know, I'm born and bred Stillwater and OSU, and think it's the greatest place on earth. But I've had some friends that attended another university south of here too, and or some other places, and so we respect that. But glad to hear your plans. And Braydon, talk a little bit about what your career goals are.
Career goals, probably start basketball NAIA, JUCO, then try to go up to D1 where I can play in front of crowds and everything. That's really it.
Okay, and I know that you've played a lot of basketball, AAU, and some stuff like that, in addition to the school teams. And you think that's helped prepare you maybe for the next level of collegiate competition as well?
Yes, it has, because I've been playing basketball all my life in front of crowds, so it's really nothing new, and it really helps me with in my game. So been playing it for 15 years, so that's really a long time, and it's really good to start off young.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit. Tell us what's it like to be a student and a senior at Guthrie High School?
I think I have a little bit of a different path being student body president because I get to see another side of the school system. I really enjoy it. I wouldn't want to go to high school anywhere else. I love the community, and I know like as student body president, if I go be like, hey, I want to do this for the school, I know I can always get that back up from anyone in the community, from my teachers, from my administration and stuff. I like it.
Okay. Braydon?
I really love the school. It's like I know everybody, so it's like I don't have to like not too many people that I need to know. It's really a pretty cool school. Know all the teachers, pretty cool teachers. Love the environment. We do like Rock Week. That's one of my favorite weeks. I love doing that. That's really it.
Okay. What's your best memory of being a student at Guthrie High School?
My best memory probably is playing basketball and playing in playoffs. Really, that's really the best environment for basketball. That's the best memory.
Kyndal?
That's a hard one. I've enjoyed I'm an athletic trainer too, so I've enjoyed all my sports season and stuff, but I think this upcoming Rock Week is going to be my favorite because our like fundraising like organization is is very dear to my heart, and it's my first like big event that I'm fully in charge of, so I think I'm looking forward to Rock Week next week.
You mentioned, and I know you've, because I've seen you involved in a lot of things. Talk a little bit about your experience as a student trainer for the athletic programs.
I've loved it. I done it since my 8th grade year. Well, I've done wrestling since my 7th grade year, and then I joined football my 8th grade year. It helped me find my passion for medicine, and it gave me a new side of like sports that I didn't know existed until becoming an athletic trainer. It's really cool to see like the rehabilitation side and like the more medical side of sports and like what goes in to getting your athletes back out on the field.
Braydon, you ever have any injuries?
No.
Well, Kyndal, what's it like when you've got an athlete that's never had any injuries and they have a bad injury?
It's sad to see because most of the time, I won't lie, they're kind of dramatic. They think they're never going to get back out on the field or the court. But as long as they do everything they're supposed to, then they can get back pretty quickly. But it's more just sad. And then the annoyance kind of starts like the weeks of their PT and stuff because they're just like, oh, I'm never going to make it back out. Like my career's over. And we're like, no, it's not. You just got to follow your plan and you'll be back out on there.
Yeah, and it always takes longer to recover from an injury than you want it to.
Yeah.
Because you want to be right back out there. And so you've never turned an ankle or anything?
That was twisted an ankle, but like it wasn't really that big. I could play the next game.
Okay. So. All right. Yeah, because I thought I remembered seeing a little bit of that during the basketball season.
A couple of times.
So, best memory as a student across your entire career?
The entire time? Oh, I don't even know if I could, like high school or like from pre-K to now.
The whole time you've been in school?
I don't even know. I couldn't remember my like younger years. I don't know.
Then maybe it's from high school. Tell us what your best memory is.
I mean, we touched on it earlier with like the event, like getting to like host events and stuff. I really enjoyed. I guess I have one. In 8th grade, we were supposed to host before COVID shut everything down. Junior high, like Stuco State.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That
So
year.
getting to kind of like plan that, and then being able to like know that. Well, was being told that I'd be able to come back and help. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Because that was my first like big event into like student council.
There were so many things that we lost because of COVID, and I that one had kind of escaped my memory. You know, Braydon?
Probably 8th grade before COVID football season when I first came to Guthrie. It was a fun time for me because everywhere you could just walk to, you could hang out with friends. It was just a good time in 8th grade.
Okay. Finish this sentence. Guthrie High School is.
I would have to say Guthrie High School is unique in the way that like our community rallies around us and really supports everything we as students and like as the high school does.
Okay. Braydon?
Like she said, really what she said, but if I would have to choose something different, probably amazing. I don't know any other word. Guthrie High School is amazing.
Okay. So what makes our community special?
I mean, back to what I said, just kind of the way I feel like as a community, we're very like involved in everything that we do, and everyone is very willing to be like, oh, you need this? Okay, well, I have it. You can like, we really back each other up. It's a family is what we are.
I feel like very supportive because like before freshman year, basketball wasn't really a game where people would come watch out to, but it kind of grew over the years. Like more like the football games. That's really what it is, supportive.
So what sets us apart from other places? And Braydon, you mentioned you moved here in 8th grade. Where were you living before?
In the city. I was going to like a private school.
Okay. So you moved into a small community. Kyndal, I know you've been here your whole life. But, you know, what sets us apart? Because both of you have traveled to other communities for different events, either athletics or other things. What sets us apart?
It was probably less chaotic than the city because the city was just a lot going on every day. And Guthrie's really not like that. It's more like simple, peaceful, more like that.
Yeah, we gripe about traffic in Guthrie, and we don't really have any
city
traffic.
Is worse.
Kyndal?
I mean, I have a lot of friends in like Edmond and stuff from student council, so like I would say just the way we have more involvement just overall compared to like other places.
And what do you mean by involvement?
Like within the school, like our community coming and helping the schools out with whatever they need.
Yeah. Okay. Who's made a difference in your life up to this point?
That's a hard one. I wouldn't say there's one like single person. I feel like I'm made up of everyone I've ever interacted with. Okay. So like everyone has left me a little bit different than I was before. Anyone
on top?
No.
With a real significant impact?
I mean, no.
Okay. Braydon?
I'll probably say my dad. He's really helped me in everything that I really do, basketball, school, work. He's just been part of my life, a big part of my life. That's really.
Your dad, he was around a little bit in basketball, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. He was our coach for 2 years, I think.
How was that playing with your dad on the coaching staff?
It's really the same. I've been playing with my dad all my life, so it's like nothing new. Been playing with him since I was 3, so same thing.
Okay. Let's go back. We touched a little bit about COVID just a minute ago. March of 2020, your 8th grade year. Talk about what it was like with the spring break that lasted forever.
I thought it was so cool for that spring break because I thought it was cool for like more than it would be 1 week, then add another week, and it was just so fun to play the game every day and talk to my friends like on the phone, though, of course.
I would say I kind of had a little different experience. I was actually in Peru over spring break when COVID started happening, and we got on the very last flight out of Peru to the U.S., so that was kind of terrifying, like with the thought like, oh, I might be stuck in this foreign country without my parents for who knows how long. So I'm thankful they got us back, but it was a very interesting time. A lot of self-reflection happened over COVID.
So what did you guys do during that time? I mean, we weren't in school. A lot of places were closed. You're kind of stuck at home or whatever. What did you guys do?
You can go.
All right. I'll go. Sleep, play video games. That's really it. Eat. Really couldn't do nothing else that much.
I definitely messed up my sleep schedule. I was sleeping during the day and then being up at night. I watched a lot of TV. And then the early parts of COVID, I convinced myself that I was going to be able to learn Spanish through YouTube. And I got a little bit. So, like, coming in my freshman year to Spanish 1, I was like, okay, I know this. I know some of this stuff. but there wasn't a lot. We played outside a lot because I live in the country.
Yep.
So we were in the woods a lot. We have a pool, so we were swimming, just spending a lot of time with my family.
Yeah. Did you guys get the family time that you spent? Did it kind of change your perspective about how important that is?
Yes.
Braydon, did you spend any family time? I'm looking at you. You got this look like you're guilty. And
Spent a little bit, but not really that much. So,
okay, Kyndal, I know you've probably spent some family time, but I sensed that.
yeah, we really didn't spend that much time. I was really by myself.
So let's talk about the next year. Masks, quarantines. What a mess. What do you guys remember about that year?
The most prominent memory for me, I got quarantined twice. I never had COVID. But the I think, first time I got quarantined, it was football senior night, and we were supposed to play Piedmont. So it was very sad. Almost the whole football team got quarantined, so it was very sad to see all of these senior boys crying and then seeing Piedmont, talk bad about us on social media because we couldn't play. So it was just really heartbreaking to see them not get their night that was for them.
Yeah.
What I remember is really in the summer, AAU. Sometimes we had to wear masks even in the game, and it was pretty hard. And you had to be careful around people because you might get sick. The whole team might get sick, and it was just pretty bad.
Yeah, it was a tough time because we were all trying to figure out. We didn't really know what we were supposed to do. People are telling us things that we assume know more about it than we do, or telling us we have to do things. That wasn't a fun time for any of us, and I certainly don't want to go back to it. I don't know about you guys, but Mr. T, what do you remember about that time?
Being the attendance principal during COVID. It was my oldest daughter's senior year, and so it disrupted everything that she had planned in the spring. So it was kind of heartbreaking to see some of those things that she had worked so hard for that were culminating in the springtime that didn't exactly take place. But then having to be the contact tracing person at the high school, and I just remember that being almost an all day, everyday thing. The attendance stuff kind of stopped, and it just forced you into, all right, so what kid were within 6 feet of this kid, and the classroom layouts and what those look like, and helping kids navigate that, and then trying to support them as they returned or as they were out. That was just challenging. We were fledglings in the full-time distance learning thing. It forced a hand to make some of that stuff happen. So that was challenging experiences that happened there. I think it's proven itself beneficial to have those things. I mean, hard times force you to be creative and find innovative ways to do things, and I think it's shaped how education has moved forward. I think we're still feeling some of those effects of COVID with attendance, and then we definitely look at sicknesses and those kind of things a little bit differently in how we handle some of those things. So,
but I think we all know we sent a lot of healthy students and staff home,
no doubt,
because we were told we had to.
Correct.
And that was one of the things that it was an incredible challenge for the students and staff, and for all of us that were having to make decisions, because that next year, essentially the health department wanted to tell us, you will continue doing it this way. Yeah. And we said, no, we're not. Because I knew how many healthy kids we sent home that never came down with COVID, and how all that learning loss coming on the heels of a spring break that never ended, that we lost all that learning there too. And so that was one of the things that, I still remember how it was just, you're faced with no good options, but you've got to pick one.
Right.
And that's what was not a whole lot of fun for any of us. If I could change one thing at Guthrie High School, what would it be?
I've actually thought about this one for a while, because it was something I wanted to start, but it's kind of too late now for me to start it. I wish we had more like medical-based clubs for students at the high school. There's one, I can't think of the name right now off the top of my head,
Okay.
but as someone who wants to go like into the medical field and stuff, that kind of start like of kind of understanding more than just like my athletic training stuff would have been like very beneficial and nice to have.
Okay, that's good thought. How much interest do you think is there with the other students?
I think there would be a decent amount because
Okay.
a lot of people, growing up, they're always like, oh, I want to be a doctor. And I think it would be a nice start for them to kind of be like, okay, maybe this is something I want to do. Maybe it's not. So it'd be that stepping stone before you get to college and you put yourself on one track, and it's kind of hard to get off of that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that think they want to do something and then they get into it and realize, well, this really isn't for me. I've known people that wanted to go into the medical field and then they go into a medical setting and they see some of the things that are not pleasant things about that and realize it's a lot more than what you see in an exam room in the doctor's office, and then they decide they don't want to do it. But they haven't gone so far down the path because of an internship or something like that they've invested a whole lot of education in that field and tried to then have to come back and change your major and spend a whole lot more time trying to go in a different direction. So that's something to think about. I appreciate you sharing that. Braydon?
I've been trying to think of one, and I can't really think of one. Something that I would change.
You just don't want to change it? It's all good, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would. Yeah. To me, really.
Okay. What's something that should never change?
I don't want to be cliche and say homecoming like everyone else, but that's always a good one. I also really enjoy our Pink Week. It's very special to be able to help a family in the community struggling with a very tough time in their life, and the way we're able to give a really big positive impact for them.
Braydon?
I feel like sports bring really enjoyment to everybody in the community, and everybody loves it in the school, so you should never change that.
Okay. Let's talk about, I always put this in here because when we have a quote unquote snow day or a virtual learning day. So what are your thoughts on the virtual learning days versus a snow day?
I prefer virtual learning days just so we don't have to use up our snow days and be in school longer. As like those last 2 years, my junior and senior year, I've taken concurrent classes, so I don't have very many like classes in school. So it's not like I have a ton of work to do, but I definitely prefer virtual learning over like using those over snow days.
Okay, Braydon?
Yeah, this virtual learning days and the snow days, they really catch me off guard because they come out of nowhere, and I'm just happy to get out of school sometimes, and sometimes I really don't because I have an assignment to do, and it's like due the next day, and I don't really, I know it's bad, but I don't really do the virtual learning days. I know it's bad, but I really get behind on some of them days.
Okay. You know, the thing that I've tried to do is when we have to take a inclement weather day, making it a virtual learning day gives us some breaks in the spring that are usually coming at really good times with the school calendar. But if we get, the tough thing about Guthrie, and you've both experienced this as students, is, we could have an inclement weather day in the spring or in the fall because we can have flooding can shut us down. And hopefully we don't ever we're never faced with this, but, spring storms, tornadoes, take power out, things like that. And, we're never, if we've got a lot of students that are at home without power, we're not going to have a virtual learning day because you can't, if you don't have power, you can't log in and use Google Classroom or something like that. And we've had a couple times that we did that where we had a true snow day because of that. But the ability to have those virtual learning days really does give us some flexibility in the spring, where I think it comes at a good time for the students and the staff and really the community. And it's usually trading a bad weather day for a good weather day when you're off too. So that's kind of what the mindset I use when we try to do that. But we've been fortunate that we've not had in the past few years any power outages that were so bad that we couldn't truly have virtual learning. So tell us what in the summer, what you guys, tell me, because summer's right around the corner. What are you guys going to do before you start your college experience, and what's your immediate plans once we walk across the field at Jelsma Stadium and then you walk out of that building for the last time as a student?
I'll probably try to work this summer, try to get more money before I go to college and hang out with my friends. Like, I probably won't see them as much as I usually do. So that's really what I'll probably do.
Okay.
I'll continue to work. I work at Rick's right now, so I'll keep that job up until I go to school. And then I have like a few, not really vacations. My youngest brother's going to play like baseball in Omaha, so we'll go there. And there's like a few in between. And then I also really want to get into a doctor's office and kind of like shadow or like internship over the summer.
That's a great plan. And Braydon, you said you're going to work, and we know where Kyndal's going to be working. Do you have any idea where you're going to be working?
Probably at the Y, but I'll probably get another job at like Walmart or something, try to get as much money as I can.
Okay. Good planning. Mr. T, your thoughts on all this?
Well, I want to say I thank you for inviting us down, letting us bring kids down here. This has been an enlightening experience. See great kids every day walking the halls, and be able to give them the opportunity to open up and share. I just appreciate the chance to be able to come in here and sit with these guys and hear what's going on with them, hear what's happening with their futures, what their plans are. And I glean a lot from, what do we need to do, and take some advice from them about climate at the school and things we could do differently. So I appreciate this opportunity.
So we're closing in on the end of the year. Your first year as high school principal. You got a couple of your rock star seniors in front of you. Talk a little bit about what the year's been like.
Wow.
You know where to start?
Yeah, well, not really. It's I shared this with a staff member the other day. I feel like it's been a kayak ride down the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Riding along, and it's waves that hit you sometimes sideways, and you flip and roll, but you got this beautiful scenery. You're surrounded by all this stuff that is just totally amazing that you may have never seen before. Shifting my role from assistant principal to principal, so many things that I knew happened but didn't know all the details. There are some things that I didn't know existed about this job, but it's been a really fun experience. But there are times when you're flipped upside down and trying to roll the boat back over that you're going, am I going to live through this? So truly, if that picture could paint, my experience best, I would say it's been great to have that with these kids. It's a great senior class. I think back to all the things that have happened up to this point. Had a lot of success with extracurriculars, and I think that's something that both of these students have mentioned, and every student that we've brought has been involved in something. So extracurriculars is a huge part of what we do at Guthrie. Academics is the primary focus, but sometimes the extracurriculars are the things that keeps kids engaged, keeps them fully focused on quality academics so that they can participate in those activities. And we've had a successful run. I'm expecting our spring to finish just as well as these other activities have, and it's across the spectrum of every activity that we've had. We've had great success, and it's all, Braydon said it, you grow up in quality and success, and it's just the expectation. I mean, I've loved what's happened with basketball, but I've seen that same support that's been a part of every single activity. Crowd gathers, and Kyndal mentions it too. Community wraps around. Both of them are saying the same thing from a different viewpoint. And having the opportunity to go to everything that happens on our campus, even things that these kids aren't involved in, man, our community is so just wrapped around loving their kids. We've got great kids. We've got a great community. And you see that by the support that comes into all these extracurriculars that we have. And you know, school-wide, we have some great supports at the high school. First Christian Church and First Southern Baptist support our building. There's several churches that support the other sites, but those folks pour out so much love into our building with food and teacher appreciation and just little mementos that, man, you go, man, we're not forgotten. It's just it's been a great year. Great year for us, great year at Guthrie. You know, it's been a growing experience because there's things that I want to change. I mean, there's some things, you know, incremental movements. You can't, you know, turn a big ship around in a real tight space. But, man, there's some little things that we're tweaking and turning and making adjustments on that I think are going to benefit us in the future. And a lot of it comes from the information these kids share with us. So
that's great. So just kind of before we shut this down, reflection on your senior year, did it go fast?
It did. It went by fast.
I would say yes and no. Like, days are long, but weeks are very fast.
Yeah.
Like, it's gone by, like, that's what I got to say.
You know, I'll go one more, and this will make more sense as you get older, but the days are long, but the years are short. And, you know, you've got a lot of those years in front of you, and not many behind you yet. But you know, I'm in my 33rd year, I guess, in education, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that I was just starting. You know, and the years flies by. I mean, I look at my calendar and go, oh my gosh, it's almost graduation, and we just had a prom, and we, you know,
it's here.
It seemed like yesterday was spring break, and you know, and so, but that senior year and that special experience and being in the moment is something that I can tell you you're never going to forget, and the challenges and the things you learn from it, and the friends that you made are, you know, nobody can take that away from you. And so that's, and your accomplishments, you know, nobody can take that away from you as well. And you know, I feel like I've watched both of you kind of grow up. And, you know, that's the things that you take from that experience are going to serve you well in your future. And I applaud all the work you've done, and how both of you have represented our school district and our community in a positive manner. And I take a lot of pride in knowing that both of you guys have done great work in the school building and outside the school building. And that's something that you guys should all be proud of. And so I really appreciate you guys being on, and I appreciate Mr. T, appreciate all your work this year in your first year as a high school principal.
Thank you.
It's the hardest job in the school district. And the superintendent just said that. It is the hardest job in the school district, and I know that. And you've done a great job, and you've gotten you've taken the senior class to some great levels and great heights. And so we look forward to 7:30 on May 17th. That is, you know, I love homecoming, but graduation is really my favorite night of the year. And it's because it's a culmination of what we're about. And so thank you guys for joining us today. I really appreciate you. Appreciate all you're doing for us and all you've done. And Mr. T, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So we're going to close out the 2023-2024 Chalk Talk for this year. And we appreciate all the guests that we've had, but especially we appreciate being joined by Kyndal Carey, Braydon Morgan, and Dusty Throckmorton. For all of them and all of our guests, I'm Mike Simpson. I'll join you next year